On the pentatonic modes. Here I have listed 7 different modes, and these are the standard major mode system: Ionian, Dorian, Phrygian, and so on. I recommend that someone first learn the modes of the 7-note major system prior to understanding the pentatonic modes, and that's because the pentatonic modes are based on the 7-note system. Really, everything in music is defined by scale degrees. All the note systems are defined by scale degrees against the major scale. Ionian is the major scale, so in the scale degree system, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 is said to be major, and everything else, anything besides major, is going to contain some sort of flat or sharp if it's a 7-note system. So the pentatonic mode, or the pentatonic system, eliminates the 4 and the 7, leaving us with the 1, 2, 3, 5, 6. Notice this is not a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 because it's based upon the major scale. So it's a 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 5 different notes. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6 of the major scale is the pentatonic scale. And as a result of deleting the 4 and the 7, there will also be no 4th mode or 7th mode. There will just be the Ionian, Dorian, Phrygian, Mixolydian, and Aeolian modes. And so this pentatonic system, you could argue there's other 5-note patterns, and there are. This pentatonic mode, I think, was developed because we eliminate the 4 and the 7, which eliminates the half step, and it also eliminates the augmented 4th, diminished 5th interval, which leads to dissonances in the music. So in other words, there are other pentatonic scales. This one's kind of special just because it's a system that doesn't involve half steps or the augmented 4th interval. So what are the other modes then? And after I go through this, I'm going to show how this is useful on the fretboard. So just bear with me. In order to gain the other mode, we have to compare this to this and see where our notes stack up. So if we see things from the vantage point of the 1, then this would be the 2 now becomes the 1. That makes the 3 the 2. And then whatever this one is in alignment with, which would be a 4 and a 5 and a flatted 7 and then a 1. So these are actually the same notes as we'll see on the next screen. This is all one key. If this is in G and it goes G, A, B, D, E, this would be A. So it just moved over. So let's continue this pattern now by taking these notes, putting it in alignment here. So this is always going to be the 1. Now we have a flatted 3 or a minor 3rd. What was the 5th is now the 4th. Flatted 6 in the 3rd mode of. And if you know your standard modes of the 7-note major scale, you know that Phrygian is 1, flatted 2, flatted 3, 4, 5, flatted 6, flatted 7. So each time it's just eliminating that augmented 4th and subsequently eliminating the half steps. The modes are just an inversion with a different note being the root. Let's continue. The flatted 3rd is going to become the 1. So then I make this the 1, make this the 2, the 4, the 5, the 6, and the 1. You see the Mixolydian is very close to the major 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 1, 2, 4, 5, 6. And finally, the Aeolian mode also known as the minor pentatonic scale. 1, flatted 3, 4, 5, flatted 7, and back to the 1. So we see here the prevalence of the fourth over every note except for the root mode, and we see the fifth over every note with the exception of this third mode. So understanding pentatonics from the modal system is especially helpful for guitarists, and let me explain why. So in this, we have the key of G. Eliminating the 4 and the 7 is the same as in G, C, and F sharp. So I'm just going to get rid of these right now because we're not going to use them. And the system now becomes G, A, B, D, E. So if I make the G pentatonic scale on a single string here, and by the way, I feel it's extremely helpful to know your scales on a single string, even though just in theory for navigation. So we see here that G, A, B, D, E is spelled out on the G string. If we go back to our mode sheet here and see that the 1 has a major third in front of it and the rest of them have a fourth, well then that's going to be pretty easy to spot here. So the major third of G is B, and then the rest of the notes are going to be in this perfect fourth alignment from the G to the B string here, including the E, which has an A, and then back to the G, which has the major third. So in every case, it's going to be the root note has a major third, the second, the third, the fifth, and the sixth have a perfect fourth. So we could do the same thing here. Now, on this string, though, the major third looks like this, and then the rest of these notes are going to have its perfect fourth right across from it. So we see the alignment now of the perfect fourth. Just like that. So let's do this on a different one here. Because this is the E string, I'm going to take this and just move it over here just so we can see it without the clutter. So the major third off of the G, and then the rest of them are going to have the perfect fourth alignment, B, E, G, A, and of course this is the A string. And then off of this string right here, same thing. We have G, or the root, has the major third, and then the rest of them, this is the D string, of course the D string, the B has the E, the D has the G, the E has the A, and there it is. So on any two strings, let me just move this again over here. On any two strings, you're going to see these perfect fourth alignments with one major third. You can see it on these two. These two are staggered because the G to the B is a major third, so the fourth is offset. So now when we put these all together, we have our pentatonic box systems, if you will, or whatever it is that you call them. And I'm going to move one of them over here just so they can be seen. So this is usually the practical way to play them in position. However, when you know them on a single string and you know the mode, it becomes really easy to find and navigate. I recommend learning your modes first from the 7-note system, because the pentatonic system is simply a reduction, and it's defined by the existence of the major scale. In other words, the major scale 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, the pentatonic scale being the 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, is telling you that the major scale exists, therefore the pentatonic scale is, at least in theory, or how it's talked about and defined, is what it is there. And at some point, you know, like you'll, even if you're just jamming some pentatonic riffs or whatnot, you will be utilizing the 7-note system too. So I recommend learning that first. Again, now I've said it 3 times. I did another video just recently on the full modes, so check that one out, and then understand that the pentatonic mode is a 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, and really they carry the same modal names. It is tricky when talking about pentatonics, because I don't know if there's any official names for each of them, as there are for the major and minor things. So there's a lot more to delve into with the intervals of and the progressions that can happen from a strict pentatonic system. For now, the point of this video was to show you the modalities here, how to do them in comparison to the major scale 7-note system, and how to apply them single string and see the relationships between 2 strings. I hope you enjoyed the video. Let me know if you have questions or comments. I will make another one trying to answer those. Take care, and thank you.